St. Josephine Bakita. It's a Catholic elementary school. And we're in the Huron part of Kitchener, so I'm not sure technically where this is on the neighborhood map, but Huron kind of goes from the edge of the city on like Westmount, and we're heading, I guess, east, or wait, is this east or is this north? I think it's east, but it's heading into Kitchener via Huron, which Huron used to be like a back road, and it still is sort of a back road if you go the other way out towards is it New Dundee or whatever. But yeah, if you leave town, you'll end up in some of those towns that kind of head out towards New Hamburg, Stratford, and that way. But if you head this way, the way that we're going right now, you're heading into Kitchener, and it just gets more, you're heading sort of towards Homer Watson, basically. So this area is sort of a newer development, I'd say past 10 years. Yeah, we're at Huron Woods here, so that's the name of this Huron village. So definitely Huron themed real estate. And yeah, it's been developed over the past like 5 to 10 years to kind of like connect Kitchener, to make it kind of like, you know how, what do you call it, urban sprawl works? You know, urban sprawl kind of goes out from the center, and the center of Kitchener is this way. We're not in downtown Kitchener, we're in like the outskirts of Kitchener, but it's pretty much been developed, you know, like there's a lot of green space here and stuff, and you know, people walk their dogs, and it's, you know, very scenic, basically. Like there's a lot of forest around here, like this actual area, I forget what this one's called, but we're at Strasbourg basically, and this neighborhood, it's not called Strasbourg, but the street Strasbourg is a main street in Kitchener, and kind of goes up towards Waterloo and into downtown Kitchener, but we're still kind of heading like perpendicular, I don't know what the word is, but we're heading towards Homer Watson and into sort of the core of Kitchener, like kind of sideways, I guess. And basically there's plenty of home developments here that are, you know, sometimes for sale, and you know, it's a bit of an obscure, I'd say, like in the context of Kitchener, it's a part of Kitchener that people may not even know about, because you'd have to kind of explore Kitchener in order to know about this part of Kitchener, because it's off the beaten track a little bit. Like Trillium is a street, I guess we can turn down Trillium. I'm a fan of Trillium. But just over that hill over there is Homer Watson, and then you'll be on one of the main roads of Kitchener that goes up northward towards Waterloo. But if you go on Trillium, you're also going north, and Huron Creek Developments, it says. So Huron Village, Huron Creek, all these Huron words. So pretty safe bet that you're in a Huron neighborhood. This is sort of like an industrial area, and it has a lot of businesses here, but they're not like, you know, it's not the mall, so people aren't generally like, you know, flocking in here to these sort of factories or whatever they are, and different like kind of industrial back road storefronts. It's just sort of a quieter area. So this is sort of where Bud Automotive used to be. Like if you go, you know, it used to be, Bud Automotive used to be one of the biggest companies in Kitchener, and they took it down a few years ago, and but still this area is sort of known for these kind of businesses that are like, this is a very large factory. What is this place? Conestoga Cold Storage. And okay, it's a big place, and a lot of places here that like I've honestly never heard of, but they basically entail sort of engineering. There's a mattress place, mechanical, Internos, custom foam systems, like, yeah, basically like industrial kind of like companies. driving around this area because I used to go to a music studio that was in this area to record. I don't think it's here anymore, but it used to be around here. And yeah, so there's sort of a lot of little side roads that are, you know, not too many people are going down, but it's close to, there's like up here I think there's some sort of trail, like a big trail, sort of trailhead. And yeah, we're in this sort of like green space, because the thing about this area is sort of built on a swamp almost. So, you know, Beverly Swamp in Cambridge, heading out towards, you know, east towards Toronto, there's like, in between Toronto and Cambridge and Kitchener, there's like a lot of like forests and like sort of wetlands almost. So, you know, when they develop here, the two things that are sort of like going to interfere with development, which is good because you don't want to develop every like square inch of the land. So that's why, in a way, because of the fact that there's like boggy areas and sort of conservation areas and nature reserve type places and a lot of hills and things like that, they can't quite develop on everything because, you know, it's too marshy or whatever. And so yeah, Huron natural area, that's what I was thinking. So this is where the trail, you know, there's even like on a day like today, it's, you know, there's kind of nobody around here, sort of. There's a few cars kicking around. Then you get here and there's sort of like everyone and their dog comes to this natural area so they can like kind of take a jaunt down the trail. You know, that's a popular kind of go-to location for Kitchener. It's just like, you know, going down trails. Like the Grand River is a big part of Kitchener. And trails in general are a big part of Kitchener. And yeah, this whole area is just very like industrious, I guess. There's plenty of businesses here. If you're Googling certain businesses, you'll likely find that they're in this area if they make things. Or there's St. Jude's School, Scholars Hall. There's even a school there. I had no idea. But yeah, this is sort of a bit of a sort of a detour kind of section of Kitchener. Not the main drag of Kitchener, but we're coming up on, I guess this is Bleems. Let me see, yeah, Bleems. So we're coming up to Bleems, and we'll just head down Bleems because we're sort of in this like Huron Park area now. So we might as well kind of drive around the perimeter. So Bleems is a very busy road, and it's I mean, it's Saturday right now, but there's still quite a bit of traffic. And during the week, Bleems is just a very active road. People whip down Bleems because it connects outer Kitchener to inner Kitchener. So, and if we go up a little bit, we'll come to Strasbourg, and I think that's what's right here, is Strasbourg coming up. I'm just choking on this wrap that I've been holding for like half an hour. It's like, it's a spicy wrap, okay? Like I can't, it's like, it's coated my vocal cords with like Southwest sauce, and now I can't vocalize. So here is still on Bleems, but we're coming up to Homer Watson, and Homer Watson's one of the major routes to go into Kitchener, and I guess we'll take Homer Watson north to get up into, you know, towards Ottawa. So we have two options, which is either go down Bleems until we get to Manitou. Actually, maybe we'll go to Manitou, or we could go north on Homer Watson, where cars sort of pick up the pace. Like if you go on Homer Watson, it's a you know, technically it's a inside the city road. It's not a highway, but it's very busy, and cars just like fly down it because they're trying to get home. or whatever. They're trying to get back from work and go to work and stuff. And so it's definitely a major route in, there's another kind of like natural area there. Homer Watson, very popular street, and people kind of treat it like a racetrack a little bit. But, you know, it can also be pretty chill. Just depends on the mood, right? Like, some days Homer Watson, just people are just like gunning it down Homer Watson. And other times people are just sort of like, you know, Sunday driver type thing. But this plaza is actually over here is very like nostalgic for me, because when I was like a teenager, I was dating someone in this neighborhood, and I'd always go to this Tim Hortons where smoking was allowed and everyone in there smoked. And I would just sort of got a taste for coffee. I was drinking doubles a lot and hanging out with these people. My old friends from high school, except it wasn't my high school, it was like their high school. And breathing in secondhand smoke at the Tim Hortons there on whatever, Bleems. And yeah, at some point they made a smoking area where there was like a glassed-in smoking area where everyone went in the glassed-in area to smoke, and there's no ventilation. So you'd walk into Tim Hortons, and like one half of Tim Hortons would be like a smoke box, and the other half of Tim Hortons would be like sort of a normal Tim Hortons. And so people would go in this smoke box and literally just like just breathe pure smoke, like cigarette smoke, for hours. And I'm like, this is amazing, you know? Like, I went in there a couple times because they'd be in there. I'm like, you can't survive in here. Like, this is like zero oxygen. But yeah, that was one of the charming features of this area. So now we're hitting Manitou, and we're heading over to Fairway. So it's a very thrilling adventure we're on here, and the phone is still going. The tape is still rolling. And I guess as we round here, we'll just pause it for a second.